Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Ace Torn.
Yes, you already know what time it is. I am the voice of the South, Q Smitty, Polar Joqs giving you that cold rush. We got a special guest in the building.
Yay.
Oh man, where do I start with this guy right here, man? Man, when you talk about being a leader, just having that mindset of just sparking up an idea and talking about the idea and manifesting the idea into real life. When it comes to manifestation and being able to really speak your success into existence, this guy right here exemplifies that idea, right? Creating all types of different ways, whether it's photography, fashion influencer, modeling, you name it, man. This man is very inspirational. He has always been a positive force and positive motivation, but always show what it's like to be a man without having to take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? But, without further ado, I'm going to let you guys ride on this wave real quick. Give it up for Wavey Davey.
Hey,
Yeah. Appreciate that, my brother.
Oh, yeah, man, for sure, man.
Goddamn Wavey Davey, man.
Hey, we in here.
Yeah, this guy, man, look, if y'all don't know, Dave is a perfect example of staying consistent and coming up on the come up. Like, literally, like, I ain't talking about, it's different than seeing somebody come up in a different way from as far as not music, not sports. We talking about a whole nother category in coming up. And you know what I'm saying? People, it ain't popular, to do. And he did that. He made this shit popular to do. And when I say that, what I'm saying, a real influencer, man. Real influencer. So let's start off, Dave, like, what made you just kick in gear, bro? Like, you say, I'm gonna do this modeling thing, and I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna run with it, and I'm not gonna stop. What made you just like stick with it and
Yeah,
build from
man.
it?
So the first time I ever told myself I was gonna do that, so I saw I had two friends. One of them, his name's Sterling, London Blue now, and the
Mhm.
other homie was Colin Cersei. I saw both of them. They was modeling for Forever 21.
Yeah.
I just happened to see them doing that. Like they were on their website and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. I already had a camera at home and
Mhm.
everything, and I was like, yo, I want to try that.
Yeah.
So I had reached out to them. I was like, yo, what's some of the things y'all are doing? How did y'all get involved in that?
Mhm.
So they gave me a little advice. They kind of plugged me in with some certain people that was already doing it. They plugged me in with some groups online that was doing it. And then I just had to sort of put in the work. So I went through this period. It was about a month or so
Mhm.
where I just started doing research on how to be an influencer, research on like hashtags to use, how to build your fans, your community, and everything like that. So after all that research, I was like, all right, we're gonna hit it. So I cleaned my Instagram,
Mhm.
deleted everything off my personal Instagram, and just started going for it. So I was posting, taking pictures using my camera because I already have the photography background.
Mhm.
So I was posting pictures, taking my camera, just doing really everything, doing shoots almost twice a day, different outfits and things
Man,
like
I
that.
thought you had a
Mm.
cameraman. Not to get off subject, but
Oh no,
and you
no.
you be, you be doing this yourself.
Yeah. All of my
That shit
shoots to
crazy.
myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I collab with other photographers,
Mhm.
but most of the shoots you see I do myself. So I'm
Damn, that's
able
hard.
to use my tripod, I use my phone, and yeah, I do a lot of self shooting.
Mhm.
So it's kind of crazy because I would get help at first, but I started noticing I needed to shoot so much.
Mhm.
I was like, well, let me see if I can do it myself.
Right.
So I was doing it myself, and it was able to work out. Now sometimes it's kind of crazy because I'll get people walking by.
Right.
Um, but it's kind of cool because I've met a lot of people. Like when
Mhm.
I'm just out shooting randomly.
By
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah, because what people don't know, a cool thing is I don't pick out a lot of my spots. I don't pick out.
Gotcha.
I'll just ride around and I'll look around and I'll just pull over somewhere and I'll start shooting if it looks cool to me.
Damn.
So a lot of my shots are random.
Mhm.
That's what people don't know. It's never like,
They little planet though.
yeah, so I'll save locations sometimes. Like if I'm riding around and
Yeah.
something looks good, I actually save it in my phone to go
Gotcha.
back to.
Mhm.
Most of the stuff, man, I'm just riding around looking for good scenes and things like
Mhm.
that. But to get back to your question, yeah, so that was what first made me do it,
Mm-hmm.
and the consistency kind of just kicked in because I ain't gonna lie, I did enjoy it at first. It was
Mhm.
cool to kind of be in a certain rhythm with something, putting out work. I enjoyed putting out my work,
Yeah.
and so it was like quality work. Then I started seeing kind of like it was kind of like not only an embrace within myself, but I saw it started to be kind of inspiring with other people.
Mhm.
They started seeing, they was like, hey man, I want to do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, you should definitely do it. And they was like, yo, I I started shopping with this place because I saw you rocking their clothes and stuff like that.
Man, it got real then.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah, she got real.
Then we had the brand, you know what I'm saying, Wavey Davey.
Mhm.
The brand, you know, kind of came into fruition, and then it just kind of started. It was a movement within myself
Gotcha.
first, and then it just started being a movement, just kind of overall
Mhm.
of like
Mm.
expression, fashion, communication, everything. Because that's what people don't understand. Like the
Mhm.
cool thing about being an influencer is you're an influencer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're an influencer and you're influencing people.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Mm.
not just about you putting out content out there. It's not just about you taking your photos and posting them. It's about you're actually really having an effect on people.
Right.
You're inspiring people, and that's why it's called being an influencer. It's not just because you're trying to influence somebody to buy the clothes of
Mhm.
whoever you're rocking. A lot of people see this, they're like, "Yo, I'm digging this for this reason. This made me feel this way."
Mhm.
What's crazy, what people don't know, a lot of people that talk to me, like even in my DMs and things like that, sometimes it's not even about fashion. It's about things they come to me about because they're just inspired by the work. And
Mm.
so certain things that's just going on with them in their life, they feel like they can come to me about because they're already inspired by the
Mhm.
content. So the way it can translate to me, I saw that. I was like, yeah, I like
Damn.
this. This is dope.
Yeah. So.
Man, that's a that's some gems, man. If y'all listening, like when it comes to creating that wave, what is a wave to you, Dave?
Ah, that's a good question. So to me, I always think about I think about real waves. I'm not, you know, y'all been to the beach,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you know it may start out small, but if you look way far out,
Mhm.
it's real high and it comes crashing.
Right.
So to me, a wave is like this impenetrable force.
Mhm.
And it can start small, but when it starts picking up traction, there's nothing you can do about it.
Just stop it.
Right. And
Yeah.
one of the coolest things about waves to me is it's water.
Mhm.
Water's fluid, you know what I'm saying? Water, it keeps going.
Mm.
And then you can cause a wave with a pebble. And so I think about things like that, and I take those kind of that imagery with me, and it turns into, you know, wanting to translate waves being something more than just no, it's about motivation. It's about inspiring. It's about a force
Mhm.
of people, you know, together.
Right.
When we come together as friends, we sending waves
Right.
because we're sending things out. We're sending a force. We're a force ourselves. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We are a wave.
Right.
So that's what it's about to me.
Mm.
That's hard, bro. That's pretty deep, right there. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, it
A
really
lot,
is.
lot of,
Got to sit back and smoke one
yeah,
and think
a
about
lot of
that.
niggas would say something simple, simple.
All
But
right,
like
yeah,
for real, what
that's
comes
true.
with being an influencer though? Like, bro, when people, I know a lot of people that wants to be an influencer, but they don't really know where to start. Like,
Mm.
so what goes behind an influencer?
That's a good question. So one of the main things that goes behind it is consistently, of course, putting out content.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
going to be one of our main things. Um, a lot of people think it has a lot to do with your followers and you know building your followers, and
Yeah.
that's important. But I think the first thing is about establishing like what type of influencer you're going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and like the type of content you're going to put out.
Gotcha.
Because once you and that's really what it is for an influencer. It's all about content, planning content. Because if you're a real influencer, there's way more that goes into it than people think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of connecting with brands, sending messages to brands. You got to work out your deals, especially when you're starting to get paid for it. Now you got to work out deals, budgets,
Mm-hmm.
contracts. You're starting to get contracts now. So the life of an influencer is constantly putting out content, being able to put out content, and being able to, you know, basically run a business,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Because being an influencer, a real influencer, you're running a business, you're running a brand.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is true, man. You running a whole brand. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's
Is,
true.
can you talk to me about that? Have you always had the mindset of an entrepreneur, or was that something that just sparked, or was there somebody or something that kind of triggered you to become an entrepreneur?
So that's actually a very good question. I've thought about that sometime too,
Mm.
because I did go to school, of course, got my degree and things like that,
Mm.
and I did go on to work in corporate for a few years after that. But
Mm.
when I look back on it, I have always had my own thing that I was doing that I was making money off of.
Mhm.
So I think first it was my photography business. Um, I remember when I I had a CD out one time. We were selling CDs, and we made a lot off that. So I've made money off music
Mm.
before. Um, It's always been something I had on the side. I had a clothing line for a short time too. Made some little bit good money off that.
You still
So
got it? Or
no,
no?
no, I didn't. I couldn't. Clothing line business wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm.
I let that go.
What would you say was different about clothing line business? Just a sub question, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, no, that's cool. So it's a way like deeper business than people think. Like you got inventory,
Mm-hmm.
you got you got cash flow and assets and things like that. Like a clothing line is more. You gotta be able to. I feel like you gotta be able to dedicate way more, like a
All your
full time.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I said, especially if you're not gonna have, if you're not outsourcing anything, if
Mm-hmm.
everything's on you, you're over your design, you're over your inventory. Like I said, inventory is one of the biggest things because you have to look at it like, okay, if you're a real business and you need a building,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna need a loan for that building.
Yeah.
So if you are running a clothing line and you are serious about that clothing line and you plan on running it and you
Mm-hmm.
need 1,000 shirts, those 1,000 shirts are gonna require a lot of money. You know, that may require a loan or something like that to get those
Mm-hmm.
1,000 shirts. So you need to be committed. You know, if you're gonna put up 5 grand, 10 grand for inventory that you feel like you can sell, then you need to be ready to really run that business
Mm-hmm.
because that's 5 or 10 grand that you're putting on the line.
Yeah.
So me, it was like, well, do I really want to run this clothing line, and do I really want to spend that time on a clothing line? It was like, nah.
No.
Yeah.
But
A lot plays into it.
yeah. And so as far as the entrepreneur thing, I always had things I was doing on the side, so that's what always made me feel like I had it in me. But I was still working corporate, of course. And so it really, I guess, the full entrepreneurship and the, really taking the risk all on me,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen till maybe a couple years ago. And actually, my daughter had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
With her being born, wanting to spend more time at home,
Gotcha.
and just experiences that freedom and stuff like that. You know, COVID had just happened and stuff, so it's like we was locked down and things like that. Gave me
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time to think
Yeah.
on how I could run my own thing and what I would want to present to my daughter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When she's maybe 10, when she's maybe 20 years old, I can maybe present to her a business that I can pass down to her at some
Right.
point. You know, I
Right.
can't pass down my company I was working for to her.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just a number to them. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of my mindset, and it just caused me to go ahead and take the leap or take
Jump
the
out.
juice that I already kind of had in me.
So transition. Did you go? Are you one of the entrepreneurs that went cold turkey? Like they ain't got no money saved up. But hell with this job. I think goddamn quit and just go straight into being an entrepreneur. Or you had some money saved up before you really jumped out there.
So I always had a substantial money saved up,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so my first job. I actually the job I was working for a while in corporate. I probably wouldn't have left that job. They actually closed that job down, so they closed the whole center down. If it weren't for that, I may would have stayed a little bit longer. I probably still would have ended up taking a risk at some point, but I was comfortable at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They closed that job down. I ended up getting into banking for about a year. It was cool, but like I said, around this time, daughter was being born, like COVID was hitting. They we went through this period where we were working like half a week, like
Mm-hmm.
3 days out the week.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm at home more. It's giving me more time to think about things, work on things, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what made me. It was kind of cold turkey, but it kind of wasn't. I kind of did plan it out, and I was able to get severance packages from them also. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just like they pushed me out, pushed me off on a limb.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't call it cold turkey, but it kind of is because I did walk away totally.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it was. I was done with it. I was done with it.
You ain't going back to it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Didn't go back. Haven't went back.
Pretty much, it just a lot of the circumstances kind of inspires you to become an entrepreneur. Like it wasn't something that you naturally were, because I know you said you went to school and you had different jobs and stuff like that. So was it more so because of your personal circumstance that turned you into an entrepreneur, or was it just something that you always had in the back of your mind? I want to be an entrepreneur.
That's a good question too. So we all go through different stages in our life.
Right.
So with me, I had a stage where I wanted to make my parents proud.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to be the first gen graduate. I was going to be the first generation to graduate with a bachelor's degree in my family, in my immediate family, my whole family. So it's like I wanted to accomplish that. So at that time, my motivation was I'm going to school because I want to make my parents proud. I want to make my
Right.
family proud. That was that phase I was in at that time. So when I graduated, I was in another phase of where, okay, now I want to make my family proud as a graduate and things like that. So that was a phase I was in. Okay. And so then as time kind of progresses, then I get to a phase of, okay, now what do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Who do I want to be? You know what I'm saying? I've done what I may have feel like I wanted to accomplish for my family. I've done what I may have wanted to accomplish to make me seem successful
Mm-hmm.
to my family. Okay, so now what do I want to do? What
Right.
person do I want to be? So once I got to that change or that phase, I started thinking more of, okay, so now it's time to I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting no younger.
Right.
So either I'm gonna believe in myself about something or I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just taking all the influences, because you sometimes you have old school parents and things like that, they may be telling this is the way to go. You may have all these other people that are comfortable in their situations. This is
Yeah.
the way to go. This is the way to go. But when you kind of get older, you kind of are able to
You
start
gotta make
listening
your
to
own
yourself.
decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like who you want to be and stuff like that. So when I
Mm-hmm.
started thinking about that, it was like, okay, well, I have the talent, I have the gift,
Yeah.
I know how I feel about it.
Right.
Why not try some options with it? You know what I'm saying? I have
Mm,
that connection with it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like even if it didn't or if it wouldn't have worked out, I still would have loved photography. I
Yeah.
still would have loved taking pictures.
Right.
So it's like it's not a lose lose. It was never gonna be a lose lose situation for me.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody was thinking like that because everybody's so focused on, you being able to take care of what you got to take care of as a
Yeah.
man and things like that. And which that's cool,
You really thought outside the box though with this,
yeah,
you
you
know.
did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've always, I've kind of always been like that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The kind of odd one out in situations, or the person that's kind of different, or that gets into the weird situations that
Yeah.
nobody else gets into. So I kind of took that and kind of applied it in life too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now I'm gonna piggyback on go back to the modeling and the brand ambassador deals.
yeah.
So how do the deals work? Like far as a brand ambassador.
So that's a good question. They work kind of two ways basically. So on a grand scheme, and then I'll get into more of a minor, but
Mm-hmm.
on a grand scheme, they work in a way of either the brand reaches out to you or you reach out to the brand. Now, I will say what people don't realize is the more successful you do get with it,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually more of brands reaching out to you.
Gotcha.
Mm,
It is that way. But when you're first starting out, it is going to be more of you reaching out to brands.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically because you're just starting, you're getting your name out there. So it's gonna be a lot of emails, you're gonna hear a lot of no's, not a lot of no replies.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the consistency comes in.
Gotcha.
So but yeah, that's the way the deals go. Now you do have to do things like make sure you got good content, campaign decks that you're putting out when you're showing,
mm,
like when you're emailing brands, you want good pitch decks and things like
mm,
that.
Mm-hmm.
So you do want to present yourself in a good way. Like you want to present yourself like you would if you're going on an interview.
Yeah.
mm,
Gotcha.
If you have a resume, you make sure your resume looks great. So when you're sending a pitch deck to a brand, you want to make sure it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
just having
Gotcha.
that package, that quality,
Right.
that business card mindset, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
Respect. I like
right.
that. Like
It's a business. You're a business.
Walking business. I'm
Right.
not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
it. What's next for Dave, man?
Ah man, just trying to continue to grow.
Gotcha.
That's really where I'm at right now because I feel like I'm doing well, but I'm never satisfied, of course. There's
Mm-hmm.
always room to grow. So I just want to continue to grow, continue and inspire, and I really want to continue like just being able to build something that really branched out. You
Gotcha.
know what I'm saying? And so I want people to be able to I want to grow to a point to where I'm not only looked at, as a brand, as those type of things, but as a mentor, as
Mm-hmm.
like person of inspiration and just a humble person that people could look to, come to, you know what I'm saying, about things like that. So I'm just trying to grow in it's kind of like building an empire,
Gotcha.
but building it in a way where people are involved in it and it grows into something huge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really on top of course, the business things and things like that, but on the grander scheme,
Yeah.
that's really my plan and what I've been focused on.
Mm,
Well, you got it locked in, man. You killing you killing shit out there. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Hey,
yeah.
we
Really.
trying.
And then, he's also a good father too, you know
Yeah.
what I'm
Hey,
saying? Like he's actually out here present. How's fatherhood impacted your work skills?
hey, it definitely impacts it. It makes you go harder,
Motivation. That
It's
damn
motivating,
motivation
makes
right
you
there.
go hard. I think the biggest thing I would say about being a father is it makes you find a way. You know what I'm saying? Just in all aspects of everything. So like even on a small scale of like if there's something you can't fix, like you're gonna find a way to fix it. Um so you find a way. So that applies to your work too. Sometimes you may be dug out, you may wanna put it down and quit, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? You got these certain type of responsibilities that you can't
Gotta
you
keep
you know
going.
you gotta keep going.
Yeah,
So
for sure, man.
yeah, I love it.
Definitely, man. Shouts out to Dave, man. Wavey
Shouts
Davey in the
out to
building. A
Wavey
big influence.
Davey.
Big influencer, man. But before we get ready to get up out of here, we got the smoothie of the week.
Hey,
Yes, that's
Okay.
right,
talk
man.
to us.
So what we working with today, we working with the Energy Blaster.
All right.
The Energy Blaster. It's gonna help you out throughout the day. You get drained, you get drowsy around about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's gonna help you get back up right. It's gonna
Hey.
help you get back going, get your mind, clear your mind a little bit. Cause food can clog up our mind, our thoughts, and our memory at times. That's why a lot of times we forget things easy. We also be discombobulated a lot throughout the day. Our mood swings be very messed up because of the food that we intake. So what this smoothie does, and all smoothies, period, depending on what's in it, it helps you, it cleans your mind, it help you think clear. So what this is, the energy booster, I'm gonna show you step by step on my Patreon. Click the Patreon, click the link down below, so I can show you, man, step by step,
That sounded good right
the
there.
energy blaster. So yeah, we finna
Energy
get ready to get
Blaster.
into it, man.
Hey, energy blaster.
Blast off.
That sounded
Blast
that
off.
sounded good.
Yeah.
So what you want to tell the people, Dave, for the upcoming models and upcoming influencers, man, that's trying to build, trying to take off, but they just really having a tough time right now.
Hey, I would say continue believing in yourself. I know that's easier said than done, but there's power in words. So you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So once you put power in words, things can happen. So keep believing in yourself and don't be afraid to think outside the box. Some you may think of some and it may come out terrible. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? You'll find it out. I don't know when and I don't know how. But I'm here to tell you that you
You
will be
will
able to
find it
find it
out.
out. You will find it out if you have that mindset. That's all I have to say.
Straight up, man.
That's for
Dave,
sure.
where to follow you at, bro?
Hey, y'all know, follow your
Don't
boy
forget that.
at Love Simply Dave. That's Love Simply Dave. Please check me out. Check out my website, simplydavephotography.com. And shout out to Pola Joqs. You know what I'm saying? This
Yes,
was
sir.
awesome. This was amazing. I love the questions. I love, connecting with the vibes. And hey,
Definitely.
fellowshipping with the brothers.
Giving that cool rush.
For
Energy
sure, man.
boost.
Energy boost. Energy blaster, man.
Energy blaster. Yeah,
Make
there we
sure,
go.
make sure y'all tune in next week, same time. You know what I'm saying? We locked in every Sunday at
Oh, this is good.
10:30 a.m. Yeah, it's hitting. It's great. It's all right, man. 10:30 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Catch us every single Sunday. We got a new episode for you. You never know who we gonna bring through the building. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We the heartbeat of the city, for real, for real.
We are, man.
Be
Hey,
honest
don't come
with
up here if
you.
you ain't
Being
got
honest.
nothing going on, man.
You gotta have some shit emotion, you see what I'm saying?
Shout out to the
Yeah.
smoothie, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate it,
Don't be
man.
talking about, yo, let's build, brother. Let's build.
All that shit. Yeah,
Like, I don't want to hear
yeah,
that.
man.
I want to work with you to see where we could go with this. Because, I feel like I got potential and everything. And so I feel like we network together as brothers.
We
We
don't,
can
we
make
don't
this
need you to
happen.
feel like you got potential, nigga. You need to know by this point. You kind of need to know that, yeah, I
That's
got
facts.
potential. I'm ready to take this thing to the next level. But definitely, man, lock in with us next week, same time every Sunday. We dropping 10:30 a.m. We see you in a week out.
Hey, waves don't die.
Waves don't die.